Greetings in the matchless name of our Lord Jesus Christ. My name is Bhanu Gadde. I'm a pharmacist in New York, a Long Island area, which is the epicenter of the latest crisis the world is going through. Pastor Mac asked me to do this video to talk about this illness and possible ways to mitigate it. In Psalm 139, verse 14, the psalmist offers praise to the Lord like this: I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and wondrous are your works that my soul knows very well. He saw God's goodness and mercy, kindness, and the beauty in what God has designed, and he has erupted into praise. In any crisis or problem, brothers and sisters, our only fallback position is to trust God's design. And once we do, there is nothing for us to do but to erupt in praise to Him. I'd like to relate one aspect of God's design in our body, that is our immune system. If we look at this illness, it has affected all age groups, all people groups, all countries, and all geographical regions. But the extent of its damage is varied among various countries, even among different geographical regions in the same country. Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Indonesia, Philippines, Bangladesh, and India have been affected less by this than the countries like Italy, Spain, France, Britain, Canada, and USA. Even in the US, Northeast has been hit harder than the South. There is a clear pattern of disease incidence where the severity correlates with the amount of sun that the geographic region received. Even in India, people's lifestyle is a predictor of who is vulnerable to this disease. But no one is paying attention to this aspect. As we humans are prone to thinking that we have done something to thwart the disease incidence or severity by doing many things like social distancing, or physical barriers, or contact tracing, lockdowns, etc. If we don't find a real solution for this, all these measures would amount to nothing. And people, states, and countries would take credit for something they did. In reality, these measures are not what determined the outcome. The geographic regions that were affected less are the regions that received most sun, and there are several studies that tied the outcome and the severity to the vitamin D status. If our diet is proper and we get exposed to the sun, our body makes a lot of vitamin D. In India, people who work outside and regularly get sun exposure were affected less, and despite the population density, this disease is spreading a lot slower in India. Lockdowns are forcing people indoors and further causing vitamin D deficit. Vitamin D is crucial in making our immune system function as it should. In this illness, the virus is not directly fatal, but it is our own immune system which is reacting to viral proliferation in ways that are not unpredictable and uncontrolled. And that is causing massive inflammation and massive damage and eventually death. Several studies have confirmed the correlation of the disease severity to vitamin D status. In some studies, other coronavirus infections, the levels of vitamin D between 60 and 100 nanograms per ml was proven to be protective. Most of the world's population is deficient in this vital nutrient. Most who are ending up on the ventilators here in our own country have their levels of vitamin D in single digits. As this virus made its rounds across China and Europe, I was thinking about this, and in February I started all my employees on 10,000 units of vitamin D3 2 times a day. After 8 weeks, we brought their levels up to around about 80 nanograms per ml. All of them working full schedules and have not gotten sick. Here we proved that this deficiency can be corrected in a matter of 4 to 8 weeks. And that seems to make a difference. By then, we started seeing cases everywhere, and the next question that I asked was this: if people who are already sick, could this make a difference? And what we did was this: we employed the same dose, cumulative dose, and compressed it into a 5-day window for people who are already sick. And scores of them have tried that dosing, and by second day, their symptoms go away, and by fifth day, they are almost completely well. And none of them, in scores of the people who have tried this, none of them ended up dying, and everybody survived. And 3 people went to the hospital and they got discharged. Vitamin D is an immune modulator, among other things. It calms down the immune system where it is getting out of control, and enhances it where it should, where it needs to be. Vitamin D also suppresses viral replication. This works in many ways in addressing this illness. Good news is that it can be taken safely in very high doses over short periods. Vitamin D is believed to be toxic, but that fear is misplaced, and its deficiency is far more toxic than excess. Overdosing on D3 is not possible over short periods of high doses. No one died of vitamin D toxicity, but this virus can result in death in a matter of hours. If a person is living, we can deal with the toxicity even if it occurs. Please get your vitamin D levels checked and supplement to maintain between 60 and 100 nanograms per ml. Even if you start this 20,000 units daily in 2 divided doses for 6 to 8 weeks, in 8 weeks, get your levels checked. And after that, adjust your dosing to maintain between 60 and 100 nanograms per ml, ideally about 80 nanograms per ml. When the whole world is searching for a solution, God, in His infinite mercy, has given us what we need to address this illness, which can be very serious. Such is the beauty of His design. Knowing that design, how can we not erupt in praise to our great God like the psalmist did? May God bless you and give all of us wisdom to see greater things in His design. Thank you.